Well, this isn't my normal place to start hiking up Mt Pirongia, but due to all the storm damage in February, this is one of the few accesses open to heading up Pirongia. So I'm up the end of Waite Road, and I'm going to head up and go and have my lunch up at the summit. And I haven't had a summit hike of Pirongia for all of 2026, so this will be my first time up here for the year. Heading into the forest now, so go and check this route out. So that's where I'm going. Check this access out. It looks quite nice here. So this is where I normally turn off when I'm coming down this way and head back down to the Forest Park Lodge. And this way heads up to Rupane Lookout. So usually when I'm hiking up here, I come down to this junction and head off to finish off a loop circuit back to the Forest Park Lodge. So I've just done a part of the track network on Pirongia I've never done before, and it's only very short, but that's been 30 years waiting to walk up from that road end. So I've done it now. Just stopped to listen to the Kokako. Mournful wail. So that's why I've been doing bait stations up on Pirongia for the last 15 years, is to have the Kokako back up on Pirongia. Wow. One of the highlights of coming down this way here is coming across this lump of cast basalt. The distinctive grooves have been carved in here with the acid from the foliage, the canopy foliage, and the acid that's being released by the rain, etching through the basalt rock. And according to a geologist who did the survey of the Mt Pirongia, it's a very rare phenomenon to have cast basalt. This is one of only 3 places in the world where you'll find it. And of course, something that's so geologically rare, the first thing you want to do is carve your initials into it, just to put your name to it. So quite a bit of a rarity and unique. So it's a nice thing to come past here and see. Just at the crossover point of line 19 for our bait stations, and heading up towards the junction that takes us up to Rupane Trig. So it's been quite pleasant coming up this way. Bit of a change going up this track instead of going down it all the time. Heading down to the junction now. This is on to the junction for Tirohanga track. This is my normal way up from Waite Road, heading up towards the summit when I'm doing a fast hike up to do my pop-up cafe. So I'm back onto my normal route now for my quick walks. I'm starting to follow the rocky trail up to the trig up on Rupane. This is where things start to get a little bit more interesting and scrambly. Yep, it's starting to get seriously uphill now. We'll be up at the trig and its viewpoint very soon. It's going to be quite a rapid ascent. Well, that's me at Rupane Trig now. So it's 723 metres above sea level. Now I'm going to stop here. I'm going to have a bit of a music bar and a drink of water, rehydrate and get some energy in, and take a look at the views around here, see what's changed since we had our storms. And there was Valentine's Day, we had our weather events. So it's looking over towards the second peak of Rupane, not the skyline there. And over here, got some slips from the weather event we had mid-February, Valentine's Day. Very unusual for us to get that kind of weather event, so it's quite a bit of a wake-up call for us. So I'm going to stop here, going to have a bit of a break, and then I'll be heading up this ridgeline here up to Pirongia in the centre view there. And if I come back to you on the second Rupane peak, that's my sunrise peak. Yeah, it's just looking over to the second Rupane peak, and in the foreground that's the ridgeline I'm going to be heading up to get up to Pirongia, then on to the summit. Again, those slips still very fresh and sore on the side of the mountain. And here's the start of one of the fun parts on this track. One of the change sections heading up here. One of the highlights for taking your kids or grandkids on this track is going up the change section here and walling up the rock face. A real centre of achievement for young hikers, and older ones as well, of course. This is the summit of the second Rupane peak, and as I mentioned before, this is my sunrise peak when I do day hikes up here on certain days. And that's my ridgeline I'm heading up. This is a rocky outcrop I'm on. On the horizon over there is the Mahakura ridgeline. That's a longer day hike up onto Pirongia. You can link that into this track here and make a big circuit. And looking around this way here, off towards the east, this is where you get a really great view of the sunrise coming over from the Bay of Plenty. So I sort of time those for significant days and have a bit of a quiet reflection time up here. And it's just really nice watching the sunrise. Let's down off the Rupane peaks now, back on the nice forested ridgeline track. And we've got the sign here that's the boundary for our predator control area. So that's what I've been working on for the last 15 years as a volunteer. And just going to carry on along this track now and head up to the Pirongia outcrop. And the view station there is actually really quite, it's one of my favourite little viewing spots up on Mt Pirongia. So I'll just come back to you there. Anyway, this is the Pirongia rock outcrop. A very nice feature on the side of Mt Pirongia. And this is the result of a historic volcanic vent which has been eroded around and been left behind. Quite an amazing feature. And to get past this, I've got to drop down through some chains, and the track goes down through an overhang below the cliff face down there. And this is one of my favourite viewing points up on Pirongia, because you're looking right across the Mahakura catchment here, and you get to listen to the wildlife down in the valley below and just take things in. And just sit and relax and just sort of enjoy the surroundings. I'll do a little clip in the overhang down below. This is the overhang, and years ago we used to have a lot of goat droppings down through here. The goats used to love sitting down here in the shelter, and it is quite a nice little shelter spot. Just another view looking at the overhang. Nice little spot. And this is the other side of Pirongia. Quite an imposing bluff. And there is a little route if you want to get you up on the top of there, but I've never been up there. I wouldn't dare stand on the top of that in any sort of breeze. Well, I'm on to my next viewing point now, and looking further up the ridge where I've got to go. That's not the summit of Mt Pirongia, but I've got to get over that to get to it. And I met one couple heading down who spent the night at the hut last night. Had a good night up there, clear skies for the sun, for the stars. But they had the hut to themselves, which is not surprising due to the lack of access onto the mountain at the moment. So anyway, I'm going to get my pack back on and head up over this peak here, head off right to the summit. Well, this is at the junction of the Tahuanui track. It's part of the Te Aroa Trail. So that's still closed from our storm event back in February. So that's limiting access up here. And looking out west over towards Aotea Harbour and Kaiori Mountain over by Raglan, Cone. And that's the destination for today, is the summit of Mt Pirongia. So I'll get up there shortly, go and have my pop-up cafe up there, have a cup of coffee, my lunch, take in the views, and then start heading back down again. I'm at the junction of the Mahakura track and Te Rahanga track. So that's another track that's closed up on Mt Pirongia at the moment. So I'm on the last legs of my hike up to the summit of Pirongia, so up onto these boardwalks and then along the ridge line up to the summit, and I'll get my gas cooker out and it'll be coffee time. So it's been a nice morning, very nice walking up here today. Good to get back up onto my mountain. It's really been a great day. Oh well, I'm up on the summit of Mt Pirongia now. So I've got my gas cooker going, ready for my cup of coffee. So that's looking over towards Mahakura and to the east. And looking down here, some of the scar faces from my storm for in February, back on Valentine's Day, and a couple more slips over there on the way over to Hikiwi. A little bit nasty there. Certainly, and just tucked in behind the ridgeline there's another slip there. So that's just shows how brutal that weather dumping was that we had up here. That's my little coffee spot down there. Got the gas cooker going. The breeze is catching up on me here, so cooling things down a little bit. That's looking over towards Kawhia Harbour, Aotea just there, and that's looking over towards Raglan Harbour. So I'll head back down, go and have down to the bench and go and have my lunch. And that's the ridgeline that I've just come up. So it's been a nice day. It's a little bit cloudier than I thought it was going to be, but still it's been a nice day. It's good to get back up on the mountain, so lunchtime it is. Pop-up cafe. Oh, this is it. This is my pop-up cafe spot. So I've got my cappuccino all ready to go. It's just cooling down, ready to drink. And yeah, so I got a cheese and salad sandwich with Barker's sun-dried tomato and olive chutney with some fruit and a couple of biscuits to go down with my coffee afterwards. So like I said, it's been nice getting back up onto Mt Pirongia. It's been a while. It's my first proper summit of Pirongia this year, and it's been delayed with all the storms that we've had, so it's been nice to get back up here again and meet another couple of people who are enjoying the mountain as well, and their first time up here, so that was a good experience for them. So it was enjoyable to sort of share that day with them, even though it was just a brief conversation on the track. It was just nice meeting people who sort of come up and enjoy this mountain as well. And big bonus, listening to the Kokako right at the start of the day. That really was a great bonus. I've only just heard the Kokako very briefly up on Pirongia in the past, and that's the first time I've really heard a full call out from the Kokako, so it's very pleasing to hear that today. And yeah, so that's about it. I'm going to have my lunch, pack my camera away, and head on back down to the Waite Road, and just very pleased that that access was open for me to get back up here again. Oh, thanks for joining me. See ya.